of the United States and the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Saddam Hussein is not disarming. He is a danger to the world. He must disarm. And that's why I have constantly said, and the Prime Minister have constantly said, this issue will come to a head in a matter of weeks, not months.
What is essential is that in every respect, in every way that we can, we mobilize international support and the international community in order to make sure that these twin threats that the world faces are dealt with. And I've no doubt at all that we can deal with them. But we should realize those two threats, terrorism, weapons of mass destruction, are not different. They're linked.
The inspectors more time. And President Bush, the UN says, the UN inspectors say...
The original resolution 1441, we made it clear that failure to disarm would lead to serious consequences. So this is a test for the international community. It's not just a test for the United States or for Britain. It's a test for the international community too. And the judgment has to be, at the present time, that Saddam Hussein is not cooperating with the inspectors and therefore is in breach of the UN resolution. And that's why time is running out.
Secretary Powell will make a strong case about the danger of an armed Saddam Hussein. He will make it clear that Saddam Hussein is fooling the world, or trying to fool the world. He will make it clear that Saddam is a menace to peace in his own neighborhood. And he will also talk about al-Qaeda links that really do portend a danger for America and for Great Britain, anybody else who loves freedom. As the Prime Minister says, the war on terror is not confined to just a shadowy terrorist network. Prior to September the 11th, we were discussing smart sanctions. We were trying to fashion a sanction regime that would make it more likely to be able to contain somebody like Saddam Hussein. After September the 11th, the doctrine of containment just doesn't hold any water as far as I'm concerned. I told you the strategic vision of our country shifted dramatically. And it shifted dramatically because we now recognize that oceans no longer protect us, that we're vulnerable to attack. And the worst form of attack could come from somebody acquiring weapons of mass destruction and using them on the American people. Or the worst kind of attack could come when somebody uses weapons of mass destruction on our friends in Great Britain.
For 12 years he's played these games. And that's why it's so important to realize what the UN inspectors were put back in to do. The UN inspectors, and this is the crucial point, because it's on this basis that the whole issue of the UN authority rests. The UN inspectors did not go back into Iraq to play a game of hide and seek with Saddam. They didn't go back in as a detective agency. They went back in under an authority that said that they had to cooperate fully in every respect, the interview of witnesses, not just access to sites, honest, transparent declarations of the material they had. They're not doing that. Now, why are they calling back the inspectors? I think it's fairly obvious. It's because as the pressure grows, they want to play the same games as they've been playing all the way through. That's why it's important we hold to the path that we've set out. They have to disarm, they have to cooperate with the inspectors. They're not doing it. If they don't do it through the UN route, then they will have to be disarmed by force.